Tell
So
me,
I
go
think
queen, go.
we're getting into a little astrology, a little zodiac.
Big zodiac era as a young 18-year-old. My son is always going to be romance. I feel like that is like the core of my being. Even in any book I'm reading, there has to be romance a little bit. Like that's
Mhm.
if it's a thriller, if there's a horror, whatever, it has to have a little romance. That is my life. That is my life's purpose. And then my moon is essay collections. That is a side that I often don't show other people, but it's like it's always brewing. My rising, I feel like, is kind of like fantasy, like romantasy kind of vibe. Like I feel like that's the vibe I give off to people. Um, Whimsical, and part of that is the Pisces.
I am for sure a fantasy son. I've
Yes,
been back in a fantasy reading mood, and every time I'm back in a reading mood, I'm like, I'm reading so many contemporary books.
true,
I don't want to read that.
true.
Romance moon,
Yes,
especially when moon says it represents your inner world, your like emotions and instincts, and
yeah,
like what makes you feel nurtured.
yes,
That for me is romance. Like
yes,
when my fantasy books have satisfying romance, and I feel like that is the distinguisher for me. It doesn't have to be romantasy. It could
no,
be a fantasy book that just happens to have a really satisfying romance in
yes.
it. My rising, I'm not quite sure what to distinguish it as, whether it is horror or gothic. I do like the darkness.
Darkness calls
The
me.
darkness calls to me.